That really wasn't my desire. So I coached all the teams. I was the athletic director. I taught like a Bible class. And then probably within a year there, I was working on the church side of things in youth ministry and still doing the stuff in the school with the sports and her teaching and everything. But we were there for about 5 years, and then an opportunity opened up here to bring my wife home. And
isn't it crazy with ministry though? Because I volunteered in all the age groups. Like when you don't have kids, you love the K through 5. It's like so much fun. And you start having your kids, you're like, I really don't want to hang out with that age group on Sunday mornings anymore. And, and then, you start doing the youth group thing. Like right now I'm doing youth group and I just love youth group. It's like right up my alley, but it's, the different ages of life. It's like where you serve,
It's like when it seems to me like when kids hit like 10, you could have like really good conversations with them where they can still be funny and say crazy stuff. So
we loved youth ministry, but then as our girls got older, then it was like, they hear it from mom and dad at home, and then they, hear it from the youth pastor because it's us, and but it worked out okay.
So you have 2 daughters or
three?
Wow.
Does the one still work at 734 Smokehouse?
Yes.
Nice.
Another nice plug.
Back to work?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep. She's working.
Nice. Yep. How's the 25% for her? I mean, does it really affect the waitresses or?
When she comes home and says, "Hey, I made this much money," it's pretty comparable to what she was before.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't.
People are so much more generous right now too. The ones that are going out.
I don't know how long that'll last, but right now, yes, people are very, very generous.
Well, we're supposed to be making another announcement next week about restaurants, so we'll see what transpires, because quite honestly, 25% occupancy is not cutting it for a lot of restaurants.
Right.
Well, no, that's one of the reasons we have it on our agenda. And it was on our agenda last meeting to allow patios to have some music playing in their background, even the ones within the 250 feet, just background, nothing crazy out of 12-inch speakers or anything, but just something so because people are wanting to sit outside now, and restaurants are really putting focus on their patios, especially if the 25% stays on. They need to be able to seat more people. So,
well, it still doesn't change the fact that you go a couple miles into Toledo and they're everywhere. Yeah. It's packed. I mean, there's just wall-to-wall people.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, how did you end up getting into the actual, like to where you're leading a church and everything? What was the process from the school?
The youth pastor had left, and I don't know why, because I really had no desire to.
Was that at the First Baptist?
No, this was at a Christian school and church in Orlando. And I really didn't have a desire necessarily to work with youth or anything, but a year into it, the guy left, and the pastor's like, well, it's either going to be you or you, and my buddy was like, I hate teenagers, so I guess it kind of fell into my lap, even though he doesn't really, and he ended up being a youth pastor somewhere else.
Oh my gosh.
So no, we went the church route and been at it now for over 25 years.
People don't realize how tough of a job that is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you really, really work it, I mean, it can be a very, rewarding, but tough job too, because you see the ups and downs of people and, so.
Well, and we saw how you really don't know whether you're making an impact in somebody's life until they hit like maybe mid-20s, late 20s. Then they'll say, hey, thanks for when you did that, but when they're a teenager, like I was when I was a teenager, you can't tell me anything.
You never know. You never know the impact. I mean, I just had a girl send me a message last week on Facebook. I spoke at my friend's funeral, Justin Muntz. I don't know if you remember him. He passed away about 7 years ago. And she's like, you said something at that funeral that's really stuck with me for the last 6 years. And so, you never really know the impact you have on people. So cool, man. So now you're at BridgePoint Church, and I think everybody knows how crazy it's been the last 40 years.
Crazy,
the biggest fire in Bedford's history. Right. Actually, the first fire our new fire chief had to deal with was BridgePoint Church.
Well, he was on the job for what, a week or two?
A week. Yeah. And our ladder truck, that's when we were in the process of getting broke down.
Right.
I mean, it was crazy. So
no fire hydrant over there because we didn't have water.
They had to
drag water and pump up
Which-
trucks and everything
Yeah.
else. And
We talked to a couple of the firefighters, guys that maybe I saw at the Y or something working out, and every guy I talked to, they said when they got on property there, their desire was, we're saving this place, right? We're going to save this
Right.
building. And within 10 minutes of being there,
it was
they're like, everybody out.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
it's just gone.
I remember
you know?
they were on the other side, and I'm like, man, they're like in the smoke, and
Yeah.
like it moved quick.
right.
Well, the building was built in 1969. They used a lot of wood
right.
to build the building, and it just
Oh,
it
that wood
went
dries
quick.
out. I mean,
Went
that's just,
quick.
it's like an old house. Once they go, they're going quick. They don't.
That
Yeah.
building was so long, and I mean,
Yep.
because it started in the sanctuary area, or was it opposite?
Closer to that, but upstairs they say in one of the bathrooms, maybe something electrical
Sparked or
up
whatever.
there is where
Is that where you put a heater for your feet?
Nope, I didn't use that one. I had a bathroom next to my office.
Well, it
so I
wasn't
had-
as
I
electric
in there.
razor, that's for
No,
sure.
no, wasn't that either. Nope.
So tell us a little bit about the story. I mean,
that
you had
pretty-
this massive fire. I was
Right.
out there that day, and
I
wasn't.
golf course
because I could see it from my house 2 miles away. You
Right.
could see the black
Mm-hmm.
bloom. Oh yeah, you were out of town.
Yep,
In Florida, or
We were
you
in
were
Philly.
visiting Philly?
we were in
visiting
Philly
parents?
celebrating my parents' 50th wedding
Oh yeah,
anniversary.
yeah.
When one of
Yep.
our elders FaceTimed me, and behind him, our church building is on fire.
And you're like,
And it's not like, man, our church is on fire, like
Right.
in a
Yeah.
good way. It's like, no, it's literally on fire. And yeah, total loss.
yeah. So the church burns. You guys are like, okay, God, where are we going? What are we
Right.
doing? And
Yeah.
so Summerfield opens up the.
No, not even. Less than 24 hours after before when the fire took place, we're meeting in the high school auditorium.
Oh, the high school.
That-
That's
that
right.
Next
That
day,
was the
Right.
next step.
we
yeah.
had a service in the high school auditorium. And I'll tell you what, from day one, the school, all the schools, all the churches in the area, I mean, everybody was just fantastic.
Yeah, because I remember once summer came,
Mhm.
how hot it got
Yep.
in there.
We affectionately called it the Hotatorium. So we lasted in the
I
high
remember
school
one
till
Sunday I
summer.
had to carry an older lady out of there.
Mm.
Remember that?
Mm.
She passed out in her seat. It was hot in there.
Yep. Then we went to
That's the way most Catholic churches used to be when I was a kid. They didn't have any air conditioning. You'd sit there and be like,
it was brutal.
Yep.
But then we went to Monroe Road Elementary
Monroe
School,
Road.
and we were there for about 6 or 7 months. And now there, you're setting up, tearing down every single weekend.
So it's an event every week that
Right.
you're getting ready for.
You,
Rough.
you should see
A
how
lot of
quick 200 chairs got tore down though when everybody got involved. I mean, it was
Oh yeah,
it was pretty quick.
that wasn't the only
Setting-
thing involved.
setting
in it,
up
though,
was
you know?
crazy though.
But then we saw the church building on Summerfield Road was available. Someone brought that to our attention. So that was a good thing, because even though the schools were fantastic, we really couldn't do ministry Monday through Saturday,
Yeah.
right? There's nothing
Right,
you
you're
could
just
do.
doing a
Wasn't
service.
home. It was
on
for
the
Sundays.
weekend, So at the building on Summerfield, we at least had a place that was ours. We didn't own it. We were, leasing it, but it was ours. We could have ministry. The youth had a place to meet, and children had a place to meet, and offices. We had a place to be under the same roof. And so it ended up being pretty good. But I mean, it was 2+ years there
Yeah.
at that building. And we would have stayed there until we got into the new church building. But all of the delays and COVID and
Right.
shutting down construction for 3 months. And another church bought the building we were in, and they wanted to get
They
in and
wanted to
do
get in
stuff.
and
And I
get-
Yeah, 'cause
totally
they're
got
in there,
it.
yeah.
I understand. I was like, thank you. So we go to, well, let's have some outside services in October, which is just a crapshoot, right? In Michigan.
Yeah,
maybe
outside stuff is
you
such a
can't,
gamble.
Fucking rain or snow. Who knows what's going to happen in October?
Right.
I mean, you could have crazy weather.
Yep. And so finally, it was supposed to be August, and then it was supposed to be the beginning of November. And then it ended up being the middle of December. December 13th was our first service.
And that was
in the new
4
building.
years.
Wow.
3.5
Yeah,
plus.
yeah.
It'll be 4 years next week.
Next week.
Next week will be
Wow.
4 years.
Did you find it a challenge because
I mean, that's a chunk of your career.
Yeah.
because like the Catholic Church, it's like a huge franchise.
Mhm.
Okay, you go to any state, any city, you're going to have the same thing. You just join. But when we have other churches, you have all these other different denominations and different things that each one's doing and so on. Did you find it a challenge to where it was like people decided, well, maybe it's time I go take a look at a different church, or this isn't for me coming here? How did you deal with that?
Yeah.
If you move seats in a church, people leave.
Well,
More or less moving a location.
Your whole building's gone, and here your whole world's upset. And
I mean, I can't speak for anybody that necessarily left the church, because I don't know exactly why they did or didn't. I would imagine that it was difficult for some. Maybe some had been planning on, for a while, and this was the opportunity for them to do that, know. But it was still unique, because even in the middle of that process where we officially didn't have a home, we still saw new people that were coming into the church. And we have people in our church now that have joined us on this journey that we've been on over the last 4 years, that have been transient, with us from place to place to place, and now, have a home. So it is by far the most difficult stretch of ministry that I've ever had to navigate. I didn't take this class in college. I don't think they offered it of how to navigate your church through,
So the only thing you're missing at the church is the gym. Savannah's probably a little bummed about that.
That's funny you say that, because the only person that really threatened to leave the church when we said it wasn't going to be in phase 1 was my daughter. Was
there
Savannah.
You go.
Like, I'm going somewhere else then, But no,
and usually with daughters, they mean it.
And you know what? We could have, but what we decided to do was, okay, this is the money that we have to work with from insurance. We're going to build a building for that much money. So that beautiful new building right now on Lewis Avenue is paid for.
Oh, that's
we
great.
Don't owe a penny.
So you didn't borrow any extra money or anything.
And we'll now plan phase 2, which will be a gymnasium with some classrooms around it. And when we raise the money for that, then we'll build it.
That's cool. There's nothing like being debt free.
Exactly.
A lot of churches aren't.
No.
I mean, it's a big
it's easy to get into debt. You start building buildings and additions and everything else. It adds up real quick.
Well, and obviously in the church world, there's a step of faith that you take every once in a while, that this is what God wants you to do, and that God's going to take care of you. And you hope to continue to grow your church in numbers, which, not all the time, but sometimes increases, the finances and everything as well. And but no,
so how is the new church? So you got,
oh my goodness,
what are you guys teaching on right now?
We are actually, I'm in the middle of a series in the book of Colossians, and started just after the first of the year, and I won't be done before Easter. We're just taking our time walking through the book of Colossians.
They say you got to take your time.
Yeah.
In the Bible, and it's like you rush through it and you're like, what did I just read?
Yeah.
So you have to really take your time with. So,
I think that's the hardest part of the Bible. Most of us don't always know what it means. That's why you have to have a good interpreter. It's like on Saturday mornings we get together. There's like sometimes Matt shows up and that kind of thing, and you get people that know this is what that means.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, okay, now I see.
Well, there's a Bible that I preach from that's about this big. But then there's a Bible that I study from that's about this big, with the commentaries and the comments and the other verses and everything. But what I found myself doing in this whole process, especially lately, was, and my church, they know this. There were times where when I was focused on the wrong things and everything that was going wrong, I don't want to do it anymore. I wanted to quit. I'm like, I don't want to do this,
It's probably like other professions.
Sure,
I'm sure
absolutely.
You guys can get burned out. You're dealing with problems every day.
Play pro golf.
Maybe if I would have took it serious, when I was really young, I might have been able to make $50 playing somewhere, but
hey, I'll go for 50.
There you go.
It is crazy. It is crazy how your attitude affects people. Know when your attitude's off. Like me at the, I had a show here a couple months ago, and Jamie Paxton was on. She's like, what is wrong with Paul? I'm like, man, job's tough right now. It'll show.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I can only control my life, the things I do, and the things I can't control anybody else. Yeah. So I'm going to control my attitude and what my happiness. And since I've really gotten that focused, I mean, it's totally changed.
But I could see in your position though, like you said, you're dealing with problems every day. You're wondering, am I having any effect on people. And then plus you're probably thinking, what are they thinking of me? You know what I mean? What,
because every Sunday you
I
still got to
relate?
get up on the pulpit and,
Right.
and
Exactly.
speak a message.
Right.
You know,
Well, and I want to make sure, I mean, I'd like to be this way, even when I'm just by myself. But if I am going to have a rotten attitude, I want it to be when nobody else is around, but I don't want to have a rotten attitude at all. But when I was focusing on everything that was still going wrong, it was impacting my life and my ministry. And, I was in the building before we opened for weeks and for months, and all I could do when I walk in there was look at everything that still needed to be done. Right. Well, this needs done, or this needs fixed, and they didn't do a good job here, and they're coming back to do that. And it got me, and I would get mad.
Oh, I can imagine.
But on that first Sunday, on December the 13th, I was able to stand in there, and I immediately had a different perspective because I was able to stand to the side and watch the people that belong to BridgePoint Church walk into this beautiful new paid-for building and see their faces and how blown away they were and how happy they were and how overwhelmed they were. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, because that's
Then
a
it
long
was
time.
worth it.
That's a long time for them too.
Okay.
I mean,
Wasn't that
Yeah.
one of the oldest churches too in Temperance when it was started?
Well, I mean, the church itself is over 175
Yeah, that's
years
what
old.
I thought. That's a
that
long
bell that is at the. Sorry, I'm getting a creak in my neck from turning. We'll have to work on this next week, Corinne.
time.
That bell that's in the church at the corner of Lewis and Temperance. Gosh, it's slipping
Right.
my mind the name of the church. But that bell, that's where the original
Right.
First Baptist was, and then they moved to Lewis and Erie, and they were going to take the bell.
Oh, and they
And
left it
didn't
there.
end up taking the bell with them. So
Well,
that bell that's in that church.
And I
Wow.
think even before that, because we've had people come into church and give us the history lesson and everything. I think even before that, there was a church like over on the west side of the golf course or something that was
It could have
actually
been.
affiliated with like First Baptist before it even went to the corner
Mhm.
at
Well, when
at
you look
Temperance
at
Lewis.
Bedford overall, there's quite a few churches for our population.
Mhm.
I mean, when you
Yeah.
take a look at the area, and how
There really is.
older churches,
Right.
that have been around for quite a while.
Right.
So,
What's that saying about our community that we really need Jesus?
probably. Or maybe he stopped here. We don't know it yet.
No, that's cool. I mean, what a story. You got, and the thing is you've really, I mean, it sounds like you've maintained the people too. I mean,
We have, and I mean, we lost some people along the way, and that always hurts, I mean, and even when, and I know other pastors can probably relate to this, but someone will sit down and say, "Hey, pastor, don't take this personal," right?
but you do, because
And
you're like,
then
wait a
continue
minute.
to whatever.
Why are
And
you leaving?
You
Right.
can't,
Yeah.
but yes, and for whatever reason, people have to do what they feel like God's telling them to do, and I don't want to step in the way of that. But I'm telling you, there's a sense of excitement. There's new faces, not only new faces that joined us on our journey, but new faces since we got into the new building. Obviously, I mean, there's people curious to, see what's going on in there and see how it looks.
yeah, you got
We don't-
softball coming up.
We don't want people to just come in and do that and then we never see them again.
Yeah.
We want people to stick
Right.
around. But it's been incredible. I mean, we've gone nonstop since. We've been able to add different things in different ministries, as the weeks have gone on and as the situation, in our country and area is at least getting better or
Right.
moving in that direction. And it's
What's going on in the country?
things,
Yeah.
things,
Elections,
Just
and
things.
coronavirus, and-
just things.
Conspiracies, all that kind of stuff.
I can't watch it. I can't watch it, man. It's good. I had somebody come in my office the other day, and he's like, "I don't understand how you guys are even acting right now with the president that's not legitimate in office." I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah. It's
He was serious, man. I'm like,
well,
our
country's been founded on revolution. I mean, that, you're always going to get people always talk about the next revolution. That's why I can't buy any shotgun shells, because all these people are out there saying, "Oh, there's going to be a revolution." I just want to shoot trap. People don't buy my shotgun shells.
I know.
Yeah, go buy whatever you want, but quit buying my shotgun shells.
I have 700 cases stored in my
Yeah.
basement.
I got 1,000
I bought
shots
them.
right
I'm the
now,
one
so I'm
buying
good
them
for the
all.
next
Yeah.
10 weeks. But it is crazy because you go like to Cabela's and stuff. You got to call ahead. It's like, "Hey, do you have any shells?" And it's just the run on ammo and
the
guns.
price has gone up too.
Oh, it's absolutely crazy. And it's like, and we talked a little bit about today. It's like our country has seen turbulent times before. And sometimes it's a wake up call. and we need that. And so I guess from your perspective, because, we're taking a look at, here we had a contested election. We had racism rear its ugly head again. We had COVID. How do we talk to our kids? You know what I mean? To me, I've been through recessions and all kinds of stuff. To me, it's like, okay, we'll get through it. But I think of these kids who probably the first time in history, it's like, hey, you're not going to go to school. You're not going to be with your friends. You're going to be on this box, and you're going to do virtual learning and find a way to go be happy.
Yeah. Like, well, and I think we've all seen the statistics, right, with the mental health and everything. And mental health is something that our church, and specifically our student ministry, really pays a lot of attention to. And they have some people that are doing the research and making themselves available. And I was even talking to Matt the other day, where we're having this lady doctor, this Christian lady doctor, come in March and talk to our kids about mental health. And all you can do is make sure that you make yourself available, right? You got to be approachable. You've got to let these kids know you don't have to go at it alone. I know you feel like you're by yourself, but you don't have to be, and to reach out. And it's a scary time that we're all living in, but especially our kids.
Yeah. And it's tough on their grades too, because I know it's like my grandson, he's a great student, but with this virtual learning, guess what? The teacher can't see the cell phone down here while they're playing the game, and they get distracted. They get bored. Their grades go down. Yeah. So he was glad to go back. You talk to a lot of kids, and they were like, "Oh, finally we get to go back to school." But it's been tough, So now I think they're pushing to get everybody back in school. So we'll see how that goes. But
so give us a little hope. I mean, what would you say to the people that are just in the dumps, live, and just what's something we can?
Well, I think we've touched on it already tonight. Where what do you want to focus on? Do you want to be focused on and be consumed with everything that's going wrong, with everything that you don't like, with all the problems? Or are you going to focus on the blessings that you do have, the goodness that is still taking place and the opportunities that we still have? Whatever I choose to focus on is going to control my mind, which is going to control my actions. All of those things work hand in hand. And you alluded to it just a little while ago, of how when you were just having bad days and you finally had to realize, right, all I can do is control what I can control. I can't tell you guys how many times that's been my message, not just to our people in our church, but a reminder to me. Control what you can control, because we get so wrapped up and so discouraged with things that at the end of the day, we cannot control, and we're not going to impact, and we're not going to influence, but man, we're going to let it make us have a bad day. Right. So you control what you can control. And I've always said this, and I can't remember who, taught it to me when I was a teenager or whatever, but they said that when you are down in the dumps, when you're having a bad day, when life isn't fair to you and life isn't working out the way you want it to work out, one of the quickest ways to snap out of that is to go do something for somebody else. Go focus on somebody else.
Right.
And not only are you going to be a blessing to them, but you're going to be a blessing to yourself, and your mindset is going to change, and your spirits are going to change, because really the only things that we can really control is how much I'm going to love God and how much I'm going to love others. And when I focus on that, when I focus on loving God and loving others, and that doesn't mean loving others only the people that I agree with, only the people that believe like I do. I have the opportunity to care for someone, to be nice to someone. I can control how I respond, how I react. We've got to continue to focus on controlling what we can control and really continue to put the needs of other people in front of ourselves. And I think that encourages us quickly, and it's going to encourage us every single time.
You should take me to lunch tomorrow and buy.
For what?
I just think it'd make you feel good. I mean, seriously.
No, it won't make me feel good, so that's okay.
You just listen to them.
Thank you for putting this into practice.
You just listen to them. You've been kind of down lately. Take me to lunch tomorrow, pay, and let's see how it makes you feel.
I just soon punch
And if
you
it
in the
does
face
make
will
you-
make me feel good. One shot, I'll be good. I don't need to buy a lunch for $20.
I learned long ago because I felt bad about some
Right.
things where someone's like, I'll,
Right.
I'll buy you lunch and all. And once again, I don't know who it was. My youth pastor
Right.
it was like, don't rob that person of a blessing.
Mhm.
So when someone wants to do something for you, like, I'm not going to rob you of a blessing.
I'm not going to rob you of it tomorrow.
But I didn't offer the blessing.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, Corinne, what are you doing for lunch tomorrow?
Only Jeff would like that.
Hey, Jeff, you can come along too.
So the rumor has it you have an obsession with shoes.
What was your
We've
first
got-
pair of Jordans?
Listen, if you weren't on a meeting 20 minutes ago, you'd have known the pre-show was happening. We were talking about
Right.
these things. No, you're
My
talking about
contract doesn't include
bike-
a pre-show.
you're talking about bike
That's right.
events and stuff.
Coming up August 14th, we're gonna ride.
Little plug for you.
I need,
Kathy.
the heart of Hook.
I need to make my social media private or
So-
something.
I know, look
So
at that.
we got tell us a story about we got this pair of shoes.
Right. Well, okay. Here's the thing. I have a lot of shoes.
So do I.
My parents, if they, give me money or whatever, or birthdays or Christmas or anybody really, I like buying shoes.
Same
My
here.
kids eat, the bills are paid,
Right.
but the extra money that I get for birthdays or Christmas or whatever,
Get shoes.
I go
I
buy
love a
shoes.
new pair of shoes.
I've seen the shoes you wore.
I
You
do.
don't like new shoes.
I like putting on a new pair of shoes. They might have been hand-me-downs,
Yeah.
or I got one pair off of Buy Nothing Bedford.
Oh,
Like, hey,
great. What'd the guy do? Pass away and they left him to you, or what?
I'm frugal. Al.
So yes, these are the anniversary, like March 25th. I think it's 325 on the
Gotcha.
tongue of the
And these
shoes
are
everything.
Jordans?
Yeah, those are Jordans.
Those are new
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Old
Those
school
are-
Jordans,
those are in-
1988.
Those are in bad shape.
That's-
Those are in bad shape right now.
Are they worth
but,
money?
Probably not. Probably not in the shape that I have them in.
And this is your happy birthday to me shoes.
Yeah, there's just Air Maxes.
Air Max?
I try to.
You're gonna hand
share
those down.
I try
anytime?
to share the colors.
I thought you were
I
gonna
don't think
say
we
I
wear
was
the
gonna.
same size.
No. What are you?
So,
What size 10?
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
little. And then you're feeling a little American.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Those are like all NBA
Oh,
All
look at
Star.
she's plugging them on.
Ooh.
Look at that.
There you
NBA,
go.
All Star rendition.
Are those your?
shoes?
They're on you right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Trying to think of where that is. I think that's in probably the office at Summerfield when we were at Summerfield. Yeah, March 16th.
Did you sanitize
2019.
after you took your feet down?
We didn't like worry about that stuff.
Yeah, you don't
You know,
get,
I'm just
that-
asking.
you don't get
you know.
COVID from shoes.
Your fecal matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the COVID from the shoes. Okay.
I'll tell my wife's story about. Oh wait, I won't talk
Yeah,
about
okay.
her wife. She'll get mad at me. And then the last ones.
Yeah,
Son-in-law?
I bought those, and without even my son-in-law knowing, he like bought shoes. Like, oh, check out my new shoes. I'm like, oh, I have those.
You already got them?
That's the scary
Sweet.
part, is because my daughter's husband is a lot like me.
Oh, there you
Like,
go.
Scary,
Yeah.
scary.
Well, he actually looks like you a little bit.
scary. Like
He
me.
does.
Scary.
My son.
Now he has red hair.
You mean
though.
outside of like the receding, like
Well,
You
Jim
don't-
Brunn
you only
said,
can receive if you can see it. Like
Jim
me?
Brunn said you had like a reverse mohawk in college. Is that-
it was called a receding mohawk.
a receding mohawk.
I had a
there we go.
receding mohawk in college.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what though. I wish I had my pair of first Jordans because those were the red, white, and the black ones when they first came out.
Okay.
We were playing Thursday night ball, and that's because tennis shoes have unique history. When I was in high school, Puma came out. Joe Namath had some really cool shoes. We didn't have.
What year was
Right.
this, Sal?
Oh God, 1933. No, well, we're talking 70s, right? So Puma was like what Nike was, man. They
Isn't it
were
Puma?
They're back now,
Puma.
though.
Yeah, they
They're
did.
back now.
They
I
came
mean,
to
the
Puma.
golf world and
Puma,
everything.
Puma,
Said
whatever you
Puma.
want. And Asics were around because that was for track, but they weren't. Well, there was this big gap for a long time, and Phil Nike went around. He made those shoes, his first shoes, with a waffle iron. It's an incredible story. He did like these shoes, and he made them, and he went down to gyms. He did read it, and he was selling them in locker rooms, and he just took off. Well, that was his big first signing was Jordan, and Jordan. Nobody wanted to really give him a contract right away, and Nike was like, "No, well, we got to have you." Well, then Shaq got his shoe, and because I had a pair of O'Neill's too. I wish I had them. Those were nice. Those were the Reebok pump ups. See, I like shoes too, man. I had them all.
The pumpers.
Yeah,
Those are cool.
Those were man.
Those are cool.
Oh yeah, it was like
Yeah.
I can
got
tell you,
him.
if you came
My
in late,
mama
I
was a
gonna give you
janitor.
some pain.
My mama.
What?
She's a janitor at the high school, and once in a while she'd get a pair of shoes out of there that were lost and found. That never got picked up. So we get.
But then when I was
one time, it was the pumpers. They were like 17 sizes too big for me. But I
stuff them with paper. You'll be good.
I noticed that since we've been
toe.
talking about shoes, we went from like near 30 to like down to like 20.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, plus with the shoe talk and Al,
Hey, when I was a kid though, we used to wear
Al telling us shoe stuff. I don't even know what you just talked about for the last 5 minutes. Your pop. How does it stay fizzy the way you drink it? I mean, you're like,
shake
dude,
it up.
take another drink.
For what?
It's like you're like just.
That's right.
Anyway,
Fizz it up. Fizz it up.
So, should I give a little township update, or do you have any more you want to talk about the church?
Let's talk,
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what. I would like to say this, and I think some people have the wrong idea about like the churches in Bedford, like the churches in this area, that like everybody's like in competition or something like that, and that is just the furthest thing from the truth. And all of the churches have been incredible through all of this. But Nate over at Compelled, probably, I'm probably closer to Nate than the rest of the guys. And, from bringing our staff over for lunch, like right after the fire, and having churches in the area, Toledo, come and, be with us and pray for us and even give us like, monetary donations to help with different things. I mean, it's been phenomenal. But what really was exciting to me was a couple weeks ago now, Nate and I connected, and Nate came over to the church, right? And I was able to walk Nate through our church building. And he was so happy for us. Like, he was genuinely happy.
Wasn't acting like a competitor.
Right.
Like,
he was genuinely happy knowing what we've been through, right? And I just wish people would realize that the churches in this area, we're not competing against each other.
Right.
We want to make each other better, because when Nate and Compelled are reaching people, and Crossroads is reaching people, and when BridgePoint is reaching people, Bedford's a better community when every church is healthy and reaching people. And I don't know. I just want people to understand that.
That's good.
And we have a lot of different denominations.
Sure, we do.
Too. I mean, when you think about it, people see 20 churches, but
and you wonder,
a lot of them are different.
Right? Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, though, you cannot go wrong with beer bingo and fish Friday, buddy. Something you might want to consider down there at BridgePoint.
Is that on the script? You're supposed to stick to the script.
Yeah.
Every time he gets off script,
we may raise a lot of money and lose a lot of people. So I don't know. We're never going to do that.
That's
oh my gosh, it's funny. No, that's good stuff though. That's true, man. I mean, it's as long as people are being reached, and new people are coming to church, and that's what's all
in
matters.
the end, we really all kind of have that same common belief. Sure. I mean, it's that's the way I look at things. I pick up things from different people, which I think you learn that later on. It's like,
you've got to get to church, Al. Bottom line, you got to get your butt
in church. God's all around me right now.
You got to get to church. It's time.
It's time.
We'll talk after the show.
I go Saturdays.
I don't mean to put you on the spot,
but you are.
I am.
Yeah. The earth is my church.
You don't even know what to say.
The earth is my church.
So lots going on in the township. It's going to be, and right now we're at the teetering point of, do we start planning festivals? That's where we're kind of at right now.
It's hard.
It's hard because last year we literally spent 3 months of planning.
And watch it go right down
Summerfest
too.
We had 15 bands blocked,
carnival rides,
everything all booked up and ready to go, and we had to cancel it.
Bands, everything.
I mean, it was such a bummer. I mean, it's a lot of work. People don't realize how much work goes into planning these events to have to cancel them. And it's as simple as you plan the event and somebody calls you know what I mean? Cause you're out of compliance. You have to follow what we're supposed to do, so so festivals is kind of up in the air at the moment. I bet everybody was excited about the last snow event. We had a very successful snow removal. That's a program that we came up with a few years ago now, and this is the 3rd year in a row. We partner with Stone Co. We hire 3 of their guys, and then 4 of our guys. We do. Actually, it's TJ Plock. He just wants to help out the community. He doesn't really care so much about the money. I mean, these guys are plowing snow for $15 an hour. I mean,
They just like doing it.
They just like to do it and get out there. Ryan Mack and
I think it's a challenge to some of these guys.
It's fun. But you're still, it's a lot
Right.
of work when you plow snow for that long straight. These guys work.
We were pleasantly surprised with how soon
Mhm.
our neighborhood.
That's good.
Well,
the
it's
sides roads were
crazy.
plowed. It was
The
really
effort
good.
and the time. Like Al and I, that whole day we had off.
Oh,
What was that, President's Day or
Yeah, but we were planning for
the whole day?
the event
I mean,
because
it
you're
was
watching weather reports and
you're calling the guys. You're
yeah,
getting lined up.
get them lined up, and is the storm coming? Not coming?
What time to do it? And
Right.
So yeah, it worked great. I mean, within 10 hours, 11 hours, we pretty much had all the streets. And at that point, we were just taking complaints. Hey, you missed this, because people park their cars on the street
Well, I've lived in
during
bed-
an event. And when you take a 9-foot
Right.
plow of snow in between 2 cars, doesn't really work very well.
Mhm.
And the cul-de-sacs, we got a lot of calls about cul-de-sacs.
Right.
When you're plowing a cul-de-sac and there's cars in it,
It's hard.
they're skipping it.
It's not
Right.
zero turn.
'Cause yeah.
They're not doing it. So people are calling,
Well,
I just get my calls.
you know what?
Like, we didn't want to hit
You
your
know what's
car.
amazing? My hat's off to the guys who plowed because all the subdivisions they hit, they only whacked out 2 mailboxes, and that's really, I mean, of all the
Wait
subdivisions,
till
that's
wait,
like nothing.
wait till spring comes and people can see their grass and they're like, dude,
Right.
my sprinkler's gone.
My daughter and son-in-law's mailbox got not, but it's just that Woodmont. It's
Yeah.
just a
There's
road. I
number
don't know if it
3.
was
Oh,
that.
we got 3.
I don't know if it was
Thanks,
that or not.
Pastor.
Well, are you in Lambertville or
Yes,
Temperance?
Lambertville.
Lambertville's Stone.
Well, what
So
we're getting now, though,
but give us a call.
yeah,
Give us a call.
yeah, if it is, because that
We'll
Shane,
call.
Ricky, give them a call.
Yeah, give us a call. Oh, they're living locally.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know it. So
Yeah.
Shane and Ricky, they're the ones that got married, and they
Yep.
were in college at Liberty, right?
It's Liberty University and
So
graduated.
they both graduated.
both graduated from Liberty, and
Moved back
Ricky
home.
Ricky works at La Scala with Steph.
Oh, nice.
oh good.
So
cool.
works with her mom and loves it.
What's
And
Shane?
Shane works in HR out at Uniloy in Tecumseh.
Oh, okay.
I
Very
think that's
cool.
where it is out there
Oh,
near
is that-
Tecumseh.
That's got to be a nice feeling though to have them come home.
It is, and,
I mean,
and we
Oh,
were
it's rough if
That's
your kids
tough
were
when
we
they're
were
out
we
of
were 100%. We weren't pushing anything, and we're like, hey, if you live somewhere else, it better be warm,
Yeah, that's
and
Yeah.
and just
That's
have
what
a
my kids
have
do.
a
Have an extra
bedroom,
room?
have a bedroom for mom and dad. That's all we ask, right? And
Yeah.
it worked out to where they came home, and they really did want to, watch Savannah, play her last couple of years, and even though it's been crazy, this
Yeah.
last years, they're at least get to see her play and finish up her high school, and it's great having the kids around.
Yeah,
man.
that's
I
cool.
love when I'm up there preaching, and I look down to that front row, and I see not only my girls, but I see my son-in-law, and I see the guys that are dating my girls, and there's nothing better.
Did Grandpa post too early about the grandbaby? I saw a post on Facebook or something about a baby coming. Am I wrong? Okay, never mind. Maybe you don't know about it. I thought we
We're
saw
gonna tell him
something
later.
from your father-in-law. A post.
I didn't see anything.
There you go.
Okay.
He
You might
posts
wanna
late.
give him a call.
He posts late at night. I don't know.
He
I don't know.
There
My
goes
wife said
Brody
something to
spreading
me.
rumors. There
My
you
wife
go.
said something to me about it. I'm like, oh, I'll ask him. I'll ask him on the radio show.
Not a grandpa yet.
But I'll tell you what,
Correct.
you are right when your kids do live by you, because my
Mhm.
daughter, they had lived in Texas, California, and so on. And it's rough because you got to get on airplanes to get out there. Or they have to come home, and it is tough. So my daughter now only lives like 3 hours away, so which is really good. So
Well, and the exciting thing for me and what I do is not only when your family attends church, whether they feel like they have to or not, but their involvement in the local church.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm telling you, and you've seen it, and other people have seen it. A lot of times, like pastors' families are just not right, not healthy. I mean, they're just, broken and fractured. And so I love the fact that we have great relationships with our kids, and yes, dad's the pastor, but they love the church. They love the Lord. They love serving in the church. And man, there's nothing like that.
That's cool.
Good.
Nothing like that.
Very cool. So we got to start working on a bike event. That was one of the things.
I was at a meeting before, and August 14th, we're going to be doing it. It's for Heart of Hope.
Because we did one a few years ago.
Right. So they're going to do it at Forest View. Mike Fisher, he's going to be arranging bands out there. It's going to be a whole event with biking, food, bands, and everything on August 14th.
We were one of the benefits the one year with Heart of Hope and Kathy. And, I think we were still over at Monroe Road Elementary School when she presented us with the big old check and everything over there. And we
very
appreciated
good family,
that
great people.
Oh, yeah. I lived with
do a lot of good
up at Siena Heights. So
really,
it was a small world. Yep. So we're working on that. We got that going on. So I'm excited. Matter of fact, got my bike already, got new tires. As soon as it hits 50 degrees, that's when I go.
You a biker?
Didn't you went head over heels last year. Wasn't that last year your bike went head over heels because your dog pulled you?
No, maybe that was the year
seen a
before.
squirrel?
I got this German wire hair, and she's usually pretty good. So I was jogging her along the bike. She's seen a rabbit or a squirrel or something. Usually she's pretty good. She just bolted. She went one way. I went the other way. I mean, I just like slid on the pavement, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, oh, this does not feel good. Well, our neighbor kid runs out, Tim, and he's like, Al, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't think so, Tim. Just help me up. It's like, okay. No, I've been biking since it's been a passion since I was a kid. I mean, I've biked.
You keep track of the miles like in a year and everything?
No, not really. But I try like when the weather breaks, I try and get in anywhere from 10, 15 miles a day. Yeah. But this year, I think I'm going to plan this one trip to where you can go out to like South Dakota and stuff. And on a trail, you'll actually see like buffalo and everything. Yeah. So
pedal fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I biked the coast of California, Vegas, Colorado, New York City was the craziest, and Philadelphia, because you get in those city environments. That's like Dodge cars. I mean, it's insane. It truly is. So yeah, because I lived in New York City for like 6 months. So yeah,
nice, very cool.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see a ton of road projects this year. This is because we finally kind of buttoned up our asset management plan that we've been working on for a while now, and we've got a couple roads we're talking about. Adler Road, we need to partner with Wyford Township, so we have to have some discussions.
It's kind of like our last road.
That's the last one in the second phase of Crab Road. But other than that, our roads are some of the best roads in the county. And so we're kind of in maintenance mode now. You'll see some of the projects coming up like Smith Road and stuff like that. That'll be getting totally redone. But yeah, roundabouts put on hold till 2023. We're going to be looking at that again. So yeah, a lot of good things going. Yeah. Budget season's coming up. So we're going to be, hopefully we don't see a huge cut in state shared revenue, and we can, keep some things funded. We need to keep funded, like the community cleanup and some of the things that we've done, do some matching grants. Cause we need to look at a few things like a historical museum over there.
Yeah. We did get 6,000 for that. We're going to be forming a subcommittee so we can get a new roof on there. I don't know if you've ever seen that historic school building, Banner Oak School. Matter of fact, it'd be a great place in the summer when it warms up, or spring. They take elementary kids there. It's an old schoolhouse. They can actually have a class in there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, in terms of what you can do. And we got golf coming up. So
Tiger Woods was in an accident.
Yeah, we need to say prayer for him. That was.
I think he's doing okay. I mean, his legs busted up. It sounds like. I don't know if he'll golf again though, man.
So if I say Pinehurst to you, does that mean anything?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Pebble Beach.
April, I get to play Pinehurst number 2 and Pinehurst number 4 for free.
Whoa, maybe I need to be a pastor. I don't know.
There's some perks. It is. It's a pastor's golf tournament with Compassion International or something like that. Well, yeah, they'll want you to support their ministry, but Pinehurst number 2 costs like $495. Pinehurst number 4 costs $395.
Yeah.
They put you up in one of the lodges there, food, golf. All you gotta do is get there.
Wow. Grant, give me one of them pastor certificates.
You can do that online, man. You can do that quick online.
You can get one, yeah.
I'm there. Couple days later.
Order me a collar too, black coat. I'm there.
There you go. You got somebody to go with you.
Well,
I already have someone going with me.
Well, Al, he's got good clubs and stuff, but he's never lost.
I played with you. I've never played with Al.
Yeah,
yeah, right. Okay.
we'll play again, but
yeah.
he can putt. I mean, I'll give it to him. He can putt.
I always tell people, let's bet whatever makes you nervous.
You already have the Payne Stewart Bryson DeChambeau
That's
hat.
right.
Rocking,
we're
you know?
there. I'm styling.
Did you get a new set? You got a new set of clubs this year too, didn't you?
Ping G. Matter of fact, I'm going Saturday. I finally decided I'm gonna get the Ping G710s. Yeah,
nice.
I've been playing with Pings for years.
Well, cool. Let's thank our sponsors one more time. Let's thank Barron's Insurance. Get a quote for some insurance.
Definitely.
Jacob Supply. If you need anything, shop local first.
Exactly.
Don't just go to Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards. Check out
Jacob's
Supply. Great Christian dude. Really cool story.
Jacob's the best.
And they might just have what you need. They might not, but try them first. It's just a phone call away. And then Indian Creek Zoo. I just want to thank them for
you can go there and monkey around.
Go monkey around. Very nice.
He's here every week, isn't he?
Yeah, it's exactly.
No,
and get out to our local restaurants. They still need our help. This thing isn't over. They need the support.
No, that's one thing we all want is to be able to do stuff in our hometown.
Exactly.
Well, if we don't continue to support them, they might not be there here in a couple months. So,
but we also have a little, Paul and I too, since we're avid golfers, and actually, Paul's never even played with an expensive golf ball like this, but I treat him once in a while. I let him know what it's like to be in the big leagues. So we both gave you some autographs.
Autographs.
Yeah, these are our balls.
Yeah.
There.
Wow.
So we autographed them for you.
hey,
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I play with these, or do they have to sit on
sure.
my
I
shelf
will play 'em.
in my
Yeah,
office?
I play them. Matter of
play
fact,
'em.
it'll improve your game. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
I'm always looking for
Volvic's a
that.
nice ball, dude.
Yeah, they are. I like
I
them.
have that blue one.
That's the one you
When
signed.
I tell you,
man.
he wanted
You
it
could've
back,
kept it.
man. He wanted it back. That's why I told you. You should see when he comes on the golf course. I swear to God, he came out like with golf shoes like from 1938 somewhere. You know what I mean? And they weren't classics. You know what I mean? His bag, I will say this. I did try to get it from him because he didn't know what he had.
I bought it in a garage sale last year for $10.
Yeah. So I said, hey, Paul, I'll give you $25 for that. Because I like historical stuff.
Yeah.
And right away, he kind of knew, why is he giving me $25 for that?
He always hoses me.
It's a Burton bag, and it's from Pebble Beach. Yeah. And it was back from the day. So I was
Found out?
I
found out once he tried to buy it. I'm like, he's trying to buy this for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
His eyes went.
Yeah. I was
Oh.
like, I'll take that. But
Well, from what I remember, I don't think there's too many people around here that swing a golf club harder than you.
oh, I agree. I'm surprised he's got a back. I don't understand.
Even on your practice swings,
Right.
it's like the most aggressive, violent practice swings I've ever seen.
Oh,
in my
I know.
entire life.
It's like,
And then when he hits the ball, it goes
Right.
forever.
it's like anger
You should have
management.
played with me when I had my
the
I-
boot.
I took out my tendons in my foot, so I was playing on a peg leg.
Yeah.
I actually had this contraption that would go to my knee, and I golfed 18
That was
holes
bad.
in it.
That was bad.
That was fun. But no, thank you for being
Yes.
on.
Yeah,
And check
it
out
was great.
BridgePoint Church.
Yes.
They're over at the Lewis and Erie. You see them? That's got a beautiful ball diamond over there now, and softball's coming up. So check them out. What time's your services?
We have two services at 9:15 and 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings, both identical. We do kids ministry in the first service, but everything else is identical in both services.
Nice. And youth groups on.
Youth group is on Wednesday nights from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Nice. Very nice. So check them out. And appreciate you being on.
Same
It's always
here.
good to see you.
Everybody have a
Yeah.
great weekend.
All right. Thank you. Have a safe week.